dear students, welcome to my channel Master Mathematics by Shaiji Mohandas. Today we are discussing about the topic Class 11 Chapter 2 Relation and Function. The topic is some function and their graphs. Last class we discussed about function. What does mean by a function? A function is a special type of relation. So the function means it is a special type of function. If a function f from set A to set B, it will become function means each and every element of A has one and only image in the set B. That is called a function. It is denoted by f. This is a function such that set A to B. In this case, this is a function. That means it is a special type of relation. That is called a function. From the set A to set B. In this case, here the all elements of A has one and only image in the B. That is called a function. From here, ordered pair AB is an element of R. Then we can write it as f of A equal to B. F of A equal to B. That means we call it B is called it as a image called it of A under F. This is called B. B is called the image of A under F. Then what is A? A is called it as a pre-image. What is called it as pre-image of B under F. This is the function. So once more, function means it is a special type of relation. From the two sets A to B, every element of A has one and only one element in the set B. That is called a function. Its function is denoted by f such that A tends to B. That means f of A equal to B, where A and B are the elements of R. Then we can call it as B is called it as an image of A under F, and A is called the pre-image of B under F. This is we discussed about last class. Based on this, we have to study some functions and their graph. Let us see. In a function f which has either in R or in the subset of R. In a function f either in R or in a subset, then the image of that function is called the real valued function. That the image is called as a real valued function. What does mean by a real valued function? If a function f which has either in R or in the subset, then the image of R is called the real valued function. So once more, if a function which has either in R or in the subset of R, that image is called real valued function, or the range. Image or a range, that both are same, that is called a real valued function. Further, if the domain are in the elements of R, further the domain is an elements of R or subset of R. So the domain is also in elements of R or the subset of R. It is called as a real function. It is called it as a real function. Is it clear? So once more, if a function f which has either R or in the subset of R, it is called it as a real valued function. Further, in the domain is an element of R or a subset of R, that is called a real function. That is called it as a real function. Okay. In a function f, A tends to B. In a function f, A tends to B, where f of x equal to y. where f of x equal to y, then the domain is in set A, and range or codomain is set B. So if A tends to B, where f of x equal to y is a function, the domain is in the set A and codomain or a range is in the set B. In this range is called it as an image of function. We already discussed it. This range is called, or a codomain is called it as a image of the function. So in function f, A tends to be where f of x equal to y, then the domain is in the set A and codomain is in the set B or a range. This codomain or a range is called the image of the function. This is a real valued function. Based on this real valued function, some of the functions and their graphs we want to study. Let us see one by one. Okay. Here, let R be a set of real numbers. Let R be a set of real numbers. Let R be a real valued function R. R be a real valued function R. That means f such that R tends to R by the function y equal to f of x equal to x, where for R x is an element of R. In this type of relation is called the identity function. What does mean by identity function? Identity function. So in this identity function f such that R tends to R, y equal to f of x equal to x, where for all x is an element of R. This type of function is identity function. That means domain and image are in element of R. Domain and or a codomain or a range, all are in the element of R. This type of function is called identity function. That is the first thing. Identity function. Based on this identity function, the graph will be a straight line. That means this is a graph based on x-axis and y-axis. This is a straight line of the identity function. This is called y equal to f of x. In this type of function is called identity function. That is the first case. Here f such that R tends to R. That means the domain and the range are also in the elements of the R. That is a real numbers. That is called as an identity function. Based on the identity function, the graph will be a straight line. Okay. In the second case, f R tends to R by y equal to f of x equal to c. That c is a constant. Y equal to f of x equal to c. That is c is a constant where x is an element of the real numbers. C is a constant and each x is an element. Each of the domain, the image is a constant. Image is a constant. That is called a constant function. The second case is constant function. In this constant function, domain. What is the domain? Domain is x. X is an element of R. And the range or a image, that is a constant. The domain is the element of R and the range is the constant. So that type of function is called a constant function. This is a based on the constant function, the graph is based on the parallel to x-axis. That is a constant function. So y equal to 3 or x equal to 3, y equal to f of x. That means based on the constant function, this is a graph. This is parallel to x-axis. That is the graph of the constant function. But in case of identity function, the graph is a straight line. There y equal to f of x equal to x. That means x is an element of R. So the domain is also an element of R and also the range is also an element of R. But in the case of the constant function, y equal to f of x equal to c. C is a constant term for all x. So the domain is x. X is an element of the real number, but the range is a element of constant. That is a set C constant term. So based on this constant function, the graph will be parallel to x-axis. That is the second. Okay. The third one is a polynomial function. That means y equal to f of x be a polynomial means what is the graph? It is like that a parabola. Let us see here. F is a function. R tends to R said to be a polynomial function means y equal to f of x equal to a naught plus a1 x plus a2 x plus etc. plus an x raised to n, where n is non-negative integers and a naught, a1, a2 etc. are in the elements of R. That means it is a constant terms. Okay. So for example, based on the polynomial function, based on polynomial function y equal to f of x equal to x square plus 2. This is also a polynomial function with a one variable. So based on the polynomial function, for example, f of x equal to x square means the domain means x. X is an element of a real number. So the domain is the real number. And the range is also a real number, because putting the values of x in the polynomial function, we will get a real number only. For example, f of x equal to x square. So x equal to 1 means 1 square is also 1. That is also in elements of a real number. So the domain is x such that x is an element of R, and the range is x square such that x square is an element of R. Based on the polynomial, the graph of the polynomial function, it is a parabola. It is a parabola. Okay, is it clear? We discussed the identity function, constant function and polynomial function. Based on the identity function, it is a straight line. The graph will be straight line. And the constant function, it is parallel to x-axis. And the third one, it is polynomial function means it is graph like a parabola. The next rational function. What does mean by a rational function means f of x by g of x. The rational form is it is p by q, then q not equal to 0. Similarly here, f of x, it is a function. So f of x by g of x. The two function f of x and g of x, it will be a rational. F of x is equal to f of x by g of x in the rational function. G of x not equal to 0 and x is an element of R. So the domain is also an element of R. In the rational function, the function is also, the image is also in the elements of real numbers. Okay. This is called a rational function. Next, modulus function. What does mean by a modulus? That is a modulus means x. That means it has positive values and negative values. For example, f of x equal to modulus x, then where x is an element of R. Then the f of x equal to, we can write it as x greater than 0 minus x less than 0. This is the function for modulus of x. Modulus means it will include positive and negative. That means x greater than 0 and minus x less than 0. These are the modulus function. The rational function means a p by q form. That means p f of x by g of x, where g of x not equal to 0, where all x is an element of the real number. Then the signum function, that is the sixth one. What does mean by a signum function? In signum function, that means f tends to R, f such that R tends to R means here the domain. What is the domain here and the range? Based on the signum function, what is the domain and the range? Signum function f such that R tends to R means here the f of x equal to here 1, that is x greater than 0 and 0 x equal to 0 and minus 1 x less than 0. This is the function of the signal function. For such that the domain is here, x is an element of R and the range is a set 1, 0, minus 1. So in signal function, the f of x is 1, x greater than 0 and 0, x equal to 0 and minus 1, x less than 0. That the domain is the real numbers and the image is 1, 0, minus 1. This is called the signal function. Then the last one is greater integer function. In the greater integer function, here f such that r tends to r, then here f of x equal to x, where x is an element of r. Then from here, define x equal to minus 1 for minus 1 less than x less than 0 and 0 for 0 less than or equal to less than 1, then 1 for 1 less than or equal to x less than 2, then 2 for 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3 and so on. So in greater integer function means f of x equal to x. X is an element of R. Definition of x is defined that minus 1 for minus 1 less than or equal to x less than 0. It is greater values. Then 0 means it is also greater values of 0 and 1 means greater values of 1 and so on. This is the greater integer function. That means here domain, that is domain is equal to, it is an element of R. Domain is an element of R and also range is also an element of R. This is the greater integer function. Is it clear? So we discussed identity function, constant function, polynomial function, rational, modulus, signum and greater integer function. Last, we are moving on to the algebra of a function. How can we solve the algebra of a function? In case if you are new in my channel, means please like, share and subscribe my channel. Let us moving on to the next topic. Next, the algebra of a function means it is addition, subtraction, multiplication, scalar multiplication, quotient, everything. So in algebra of a function, first case is f equal to x tends to r and g is another function x tends to r. That is called two function f and g. Then f of fg equal to x tends to r, which implies here for all x is an element of r. For all x is an element of r. In addition, we can write it as here f plus g do x equal to f of x plus g of x. Next, in the subtraction, f minus g x equal to f of x minus g of x. Next, multiplication by scalar quantity. Multiplication by scalar quantity means for any scalar element alpha be a scalar quantity or a constant, that means f alpha into x equal to f of x alpha f of x. This is the multiplication of the scalar quantity. The scalar quantity will be alpha. Then f alpha x equal to alpha into f of x. Next, multiplication of two real numbers. In the multiplication of two real numbers means the fourth one is f into g of x equal to f of g of x into f of x or f of x into g of x, whatever it may be. So the multiplication of two real number x equal to f of x into g of x. Similarly, the division of the two real numbers is f by g of x equal to f of x by g of x, where g of x not equal to 0, where x is all elements of R. The multiplication two real numbers means f dot g into x equal to f of x into g of x. And the division f by quotient f by g of x equal to f of x by g of x, where g of x not equal to 0, the x is an element of R. In the multiplication of two real numbers means here f of x into g of x, which is nothing but f dot g of x. This is the multiplication of two real numbers. This is also called it as a point-wise multiplication. Point-wise multiplication. Point-wise multiplication. This is another name is called point-wise multiplication. That is called it a multiplication of two real numbers. Okay. So, these are the algebra of a function. That means addition, subtraction, multiplication of a scalar quantity, multiplication of a two real numbers, quotient. Okay, then multiplication two real numbers is called it as a point-wise multiplication. Okay, is it clear about today's class? We discussed some functions and graphs of the relation and also algebra of the relation. Okay. If you have any doubts or suggestion, please write below the comment box. Okay. In case if you are new in my channel, please like and do share with your friends. And you have to subscribe right now and hit the bell icon on the right side. Then only you will get more updates from my channel. Okay. Next class we will discuss about the exercise 2.3. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. See you soon on my next video. Till then, bye.